come in just a little bit before because I absolutely cannot stand the way this service works when it comes to live streaming. But hey, thanks so much for hanging out and coming in and saying hi. Don't forget to check me out at twitter.com/lore reloaded. If you want to talk about anything, we talk about everything from Trek to politics to whatever you guys want to talk about. Also, after months and months and months and months of me saying, hey guys, definitely go to twitch.tv/lore reloaded because I'll definitely be there for some time. I'm probably going to be at mixer.com/lore reloaded, streaming Monday through Friday every day starting at 11. You guys want to see me streaming? It'll be playing games. I'll be talking. You guys can call in. It's going to be a lot of fun. Please go there right now if you want to watch me streaming. Go to mixer.com/lore reloaded and follow me right now. Out of the way, Polol in the house, Al Waifu, Andre. Haven't seen you in a while, Andre. Hope you're doing well. Josh Street, Robert Cortez. Finally, the official Trek Waifu, Al Waifu, is here. I am doing well. Hope you are too. Of course, Demo Gorgonzola. What is going on, good sir? Today we are going to be talking about whatever you guys want to talk about. Whatever we want to break down. It'll be kind of up in the air where we go from there. Good morning, Hidden Trail video. We will start with the Picard. Patrick Stewart has said a couple of things that are intriguing. And I think that we should break it down and discuss that a little bit. And then from there, we can discuss what we want to get into. Shadow's Edge. It'll be 11 a.m. It'll be 11 a.m. Central Standard, Monday through Thursday. 8. It'll be at nights if I'm going to do it. It'll be 8 p.m. Definitely on Saturday. It'll be 8 p.m. But I'll also try to do it other nights too. And again, that is going to be me just trying to do something that is able to more relate and hang out with you guys and maybe just have a little bit more fun with it. I was thinking about doing that on this channel, but it doesn't fit. It doesn't work out well. So ultimately, I think that we'll do it on something different. Mixer has a lot of advantages, it seems, compared to Twitch. So I think I'm going to start out and try there and see where it goes. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And again, it'll be very interesting because sometimes I'll be gaming and we'll be talking just like we are doing here. A lot of the time I'm going to try to invite you guys on and we can also have some discussions or debates. It can be Trek related or whatever. I will say this. A lot of it will be Star Trek because that's what I'm known for. But guys, I am not just your dancing monkey. I have other things I enjoy too. So we can do other things there as well and talk about other things. How long I'm going to be live for today? Probably an hour 15, maybe a little bit longer. Yeah, and don't forget to hit that like button. But for now, let's talk about Picard saying that it's going to be a Discovery TNG hybrid and go into what that really means. What's going on, Anti-Lore Reloaded? Yeah, I'm trying. But again, as I said, I will still do some live streams here, but I'm going to have a solid set live stream on mixer.com/lore reloaded. But let's get this down. This is from Cinema Blend. We're going to discuss this for just a moment, and then we'll get into whatever you guys want to. By Laura Hurley. The Star Trek franchise on the small screen will get even bigger in 2020 with the premiere of Star Trek Picard, starring Patrick Stewart in a return to his iconic Star Trek The Next Generation role. Picard will clue viewers in on what happened to Jean-Luc Picard since the credits rolled on Star Trek Nemesis film back in 2002. Here's a spoiler alert. Apparently he has a dog. And I love it when people are just cutesy. Don't you just love cutesy? Just so awesome. Since Picard will be a continuation of a Next Generation character story, but produced for CBS All Access like Star Trek Discovery, a big question has been whether the new show will be more like one series than the other. Will Picard feel more like The Next Generation, or just a version of Star Trek Discovery starring Patrick Stewart? And that honestly has been my issue or concern. A lot of people have thrown up their hands after seeing the trailer and just saying, oh my God, this obviously means that it's going to be a Star Trek Discovery clone and it's dead. I haven't read all of this, but I will say before even looking at what Picard said, there is no reason for them not to use the aesthetics. of Star Trek Discovery. The aesthetics of Star Trek Discovery are beautiful. The ships, the layout, the effects, it's all excellent. I honestly have never had an issue with the effects or the aesthetic itself. It takes me a little bit out of it because it's so far advanced, and in the instances that it's continuity breaking, there's a problem. But if we remove that, if we remove the continuity breaking and it takes you out because of when it was placed, I think it looks beautiful. I think it is well done. So people not wanting Picard to look like Star Trek Discovery, I think, is silly, especially since this is in the future and they can do a lot of what they want. That's always been my opinion. Moving on. The new show won't premiere to allow viewers to judge for themselves for another several months. But CBS All Access Executive Vice President of Original Content, Jesus, that name, Julie McNamara, shared how Star Trek Picard will actually be a hybrid of Discovery and the Next Generation. Here's how she put it. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. And I don't know that the dog's name is number 1. That would be cool if it was, though. Here we go. This is what she says. I would say that it is in production, sort of size and scope of more similar to Discovery. Is that even a sentence? I would say that it is in production, sort of size and scope of more similar to Discovery. This is a weird sentence. In terms of the characters and the nature of the storytelling, probably more like Next Generation. But of course, we're a number of years later now, and so there are some shifts in the storytelling style. I think it's a really nice hybrid of the two, is what Julie McNamara says. I don't disagree with any of that. I guess the problem is a lot of people hated Discovery for a good reason. And so what we saw in that show with the new aesthetics means everybody assumes that the new aesthetics is what it's going to look like. The new aesthetics means they also change the story or the continuity of it, right? So everything said here, again, I think makes sense. The storytelling is always going to be different. I have said, and I stand by, I don't think the Next Generation would do anywhere near well now than it did then. It just happened to hit a sweet spot. The storytelling done then just people wouldn't enjoy it. We want more depth in our storytelling. We want our heroes to be more gray. We want more darkness, grittiness. Most all of the movies that you see have a bit of grit to them, even the Marvel movies, which are spectacularly done and very, very PG-13. So I don't disagree that the storytelling has to change for it to be successful, and I think that they should use the aesthetics. The only concern I have is beyond the fact that they were saying things like this for Discovery, so I don't trust them. It's done by the same writers. It's also done. Also, Sir Patrick Stewart is amazingly liberal, like very, very left. Has stated he enjoys what they did in Discovery, and so I'm just concerned. He also continues to say that it's going to be a new story. It's going to be something new, and so if it's something new, it's not TNG, and we can't expect TNG. Lore Reloaded theory question. Oh, someone else. I missed it, but someone was talking about how on Memory Alpha they say the dog's name is number 1. Love Memory Alpha. I use it as a source. You can't always trust everything you see there. It is a wiki at the end of the day. But I'm not saying it's not. That would be interesting if you did it. The more I think about it, I don't know how I feel about that. Theory, Shadow's Edge. Theory question. Since Khan could teleport from Starfleet Command to Kronos in Klingon space, can a ship use the same method to explore the galaxy faster? In theory, if you had a transporter that was large enough, but I'm not sure that they'd be able to transport at that time based on what we see in the movie. And they also just forget the technology existed, apparently. So, yeah. I think Deep Space Nine would work nowadays. Maybe Deep Space Nine later seasons. Maybe the Dominion War, though I think they tell it differently. Early DS9 would not at all. Like, at all. The actor who played Hugh recently said that his character was going to be on the Borg Cube for season 1. Okay, I'm not surprised at all. Well, the show is going to have a short trek. Dan23, I haven't heard that. So it's going to have a short trek, you say. Star Trek Picard short trek. Let's take a look at that. Star Trek short trek returns with Picard teaser. Okay, they're trying to sell me something. I don't care about this. Can we please continue on? Thank God, everybody's got to eat. I understand. Can you send me a link to the short trek? Because I don't know. Send it to james@lorereloaded.com. I'm not convinced what it's... Yeah, because the one I'm looking at here, the short trek was not... It was set in Discovery era, not that. So if you guys have a short trek that's about Picard, let me know, because I'm not seeing anything in reference to that. I guess we could take a look at Wikipedia. That's something I just put down just a minute ago. Didn't really put down. I'm not seeing anything about it. I'd like to see a link on that if you got it, because that'd be interesting. If you think about it, you could clone an entire army with a replicator. You could, because you can make full-on organs. I don't know how the brain would work, but you can make full-on organs. Don't know if it's going to have both prequel novels and comics, but it's going to have one of them. It will have there is a novel coming out that'll be canon that kind of sets everything up, so that'll be interesting. I'll definitely be reading that. DS9 was ahead of its time. DS9 was ahead of its time. Imagine if Voyager was the one after TNG with some changes, and after Voyager, then DS9 would have done well during 2001 to 2009 due to how the USA was doing during that time. I agree, I think. I hope Picard will be better than Discovery. Also, how are you doing? Well, Godspeed, I am doing well. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope it will be too. Do you think John Delancey will be a Q for this show, assuming Q will ever be involved in Picard? I think John Delancey would be interested in it. I think he might recuse his role. You'd have to have some clever writing. If they did it, and I've talked about this before, if they did it, I sincerely hope that they don't try to digitally animate Q and make him seem younger. I think it should be old John Delancey, and I think they should point it out. And I think Q should actually say, once challenged by Picard, you know, Q age? I don't think Q aged or whatever. And he should do something like he should be vague about it and also mock Picard. He says something like how little you know of us. I thought we were so close you would understand how the Q work now. And then something to the effect of, or maybe I'm just doing this because I want you to feel at home. Wow, that got much louder. He adds something to it, or maybe I'm doing this to make you feel a lot better, more at home. I mean, after all, have you looked in a mirror? Or something like that. If they did it, I want them to do it that way. What's going on, Ariel Ballet? The like button bit you? Well, that's why you're supposed to hit it first thing. You're supposed to stroke it. You don't always have to hit the like button hard. Sometimes you just got to make some love. Didn't we see a Discovery transporter effect in the trailer for Picard? I don't know. I don't remember that. Did we? Trek Canon says, all stories need to evolve, but the core principles should always stay. I'd love a Picard series that evolves the mythos, exploration of Picard's mental illness, Picard's love of archaeology and such. I mean, it depends on how you do it. I think you can take a character and turn them into something else completely and change the story or change the principles. But you have to do it appropriately and you have to do it slowly. Just like the problem with Seven, they changed her too fast. In the story, in the world, it may have made sense. But we don't get to see it. And so it's just like whiplash for us, you know? 63 people watching. Don't forget to hit that like. The more you like it, the more people see, the more I do these. Also, if you're watching this and you like live streams and you keep begging me to do live streams, I will actually be doing them daily, Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. CST, 8 p.m. CST. But I'll be doing it at mixer.com/lore reloaded. I will still be doing some here ever so often. And there's a podcast with me and Kat Walski coming on the 11th. Ariel Ballet, and it'll be here, not a mixer. Ariel Ballet, here's some Count Damune. Thank you so much, Ariel. As you guys know, the way that I keep the lights on, the way that I continue to do stuff like this is through super chats, through giving to the paypal.me below. And if you want to hear your voice, you can actually give to the Stream Element tips, and you'll hear your voice there. Thank you so much. And, of course, by viewers like you. So thank you for keeping the lights on and allowing me to continue to do this. At Lori Loaded, what if Q... Oh, someone actually... Here we go. JJMFDL says, you aged. I thought it was only fair your best friend aged with you. Well, best friends besides the dog. Yeah, see, that I like that. I like that line. You should write First Trek. That would be a wonderful line to use. I think that would be excellent. We need to do that. It's bad when I'm almost more interested in the ways they screw things up than I am the story. Well, David, perhaps they won't screw things up and you'll be disappointed. After 20 years, anyone changes? I don't disagree, good old gamer, but it hasn't been 20 years to us. It's looking on the timeline, it's been less than, every series happens right after the other. And, 1 second. And at best, it's been what? I don't know. When did Voyager end? Maybe that's what you're talking about. I'm going to feel bad if it was... No, and it's been 18 years, not 20, good sir, for us. But still, I mean, it doesn't feel like that when you're watching one series after the other. So since the Q can clearly time travel, they can do a thing where Q is much older, like eons older than when we last saw him. That would explain why John Delancey... Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of ways you could do it. Major Kira once transported from Deep Space Nine to the other station that looks like just Deep Space Nine using a Dominion long-range transporter. Sure. I agree. Not enough for lights. Light up a candle. Yeah, it's dark. I know it's dark. I'm actually going to set up... I got some cool stuff coming in. Because I'm, again, going to start doing this constantly. So you're actually going to have a better camera. I'm redoing the outlay. It's going to be good. You're going to love it. You're going to, I don't say this. A lot of people say this. It's going to be the best. Like scientists and politicians and people who watch this, they're going to say, man, you have the best layout. But it's not going to be me. It's going to be the other people. Not off to a good start, in my honest opinion. There are already too many things to explain away. Data isn't Data because he looks bloated. 7 changed. Q, etc. Well, I mean, Q's not. We don't know that Q's going to be in it. First off, the problem is that you can't do this and have it exactly like it was. Unfortunately, as humans, we are restricted, and so there's not a ton that can be done. Can you do some other series, including Expanse, B5, and others? Babylon 5 will be coming out day after tomorrow, I think. And I already have several different series, Kurt. I have several videos, a huge amount of videos on Babylon 5. Getting back into Expanse next week, I think. And Battletech, and there was one other we're doing. Battlestar Galactica. Did I say that? So, you guys, this is the way it works. So something to let you guys know. There is a minimum amount. So, I try to be transparent. This is me just going to be honest with every one of you. There is a minimum amount of money that anyone has to make to survive, right? And so for the month, I have to do certain things in order to make money. Once I hit a minimum amount, I then open myself up to be more creative. Right now, I'm able to be a lot more creative than I used to because of those who are on Patreon. As that grows, I'll continue to be more and more creative. But when it comes to it, a lot of my money comes from YouTube advertisement. The only way I can really make good money is to do nothing but Star Trek. So that's why I've done quite a bit of Star Trek this month, but I will be doing that. Oh, yeah, SDF Macross is coming out, too. Entire series on them, because that's been a request by Michael Weir. So I'll be doing that, too. SDF Macross is going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Huge. Data looks bloated. He is. He did gain. You know, there's a couple of things. It depends on how Data's there. I believe that it is either a simulation, or more likely he's having a dream, which is why he doesn't want it to end. And I think that can explain why Data doesn't look the way he does. Delancey looks okay. Just give him a dye job. Also, I really hope that the show steers away from the Federation Starfleet. It would be nice to see much more of the galaxy that isn't so tame. See, I don't know. The fact that it's not focused on Starfleet concerns me. And I'm on the fence about it. I'm going to be honest with you. How about some more Doctor Who stuff? I may do Doctor Who. I don't know. Doctor Who is pretty intricate. The fun thing about Doctor Who, though, is I can say almost anything I want to say, and even if it contradicts, it's still right because of the way they write their stuff. Data appeared in the trailer as a teaser for a new Data series. Like Fat Elvis, it'll be Star Trek Data the Vegas Years. What? There's a Data trailer. I could, of course, be wrong. I may be only wildly speculating. I don't think there's going to be a Data trailer. Or a Data series. Maybe. I don't know. Do you think we will get a Starfleet-centered live-action show? There's not one on the... Well, Star Trek Discovery. Unless they're not going to be Starfleet-centered anymore. We have the two animated shows are going to be Starfleet... Nope. One of the two animated shows is going to be Starfleet-centered. Young Delancey looks now like his dad, so it could be him. Okay. To me, it feels wrong that Starfleet is not the focus of the series. Yeah, I would agree. I'm so used to Starfleet being the focus, and I think there's as much story to tell. I've said before, and I kind of stand by right now, is I don't know if Trek has a lot more stories to tell, but if it does, I think you could still tell it from Starfleet. I think you could still... I don't think you need to go beyond that. And I'm so used to Starfleet. It's interesting to me. Bird of Prey 5, who has an excellent channel. Y'all should check it out. Better late than never. Thanks for coming. Giving $2. Helping the channel out. Thank you, sir. Always appreciate it. The Star Trek show that will explore the galaxy without using Starfleet will be the Nickelodeon's animated show, which has a bunch of teenagers finding a derelict ship and exploring. Yeah, don't even get me started on the stupidity of the derelict ship. I don't even want to talk about that stupidness. The derelict ship is supposed to be a derelict Starfleet ship. That goes against everything we know about Starfleet, unless they make it like from a battle or something. I don't know. I'm thinking all these cameos are going to be at Picard's funeral. Well, that'd be unfortunate. David Ham, no message, is showing some love. Well, I love you, sir. Thank you so much. I love you. I want some other factions, like the Tholians or Breen, to be focused on. I don't think... It has to be a human. Here's the thing. Here's the problem. People are not really going to be apt to watch something that is not near human. Tholian, Breen, Klingon is just not going to be something interesting. Unfortunately, we like to be able to connect to things, right? And so I think that when it comes to things like this, it needs to be human-centric. Now, maybe you could have like a human... and it doesn't even have to be a main character, the central character focused, but maybe you can have a human on a Klingon ship or something like that. You just have to have like something audiences can latch onto, or it just won't do well. And a lot of people get brazen about that. A lot of people get upset. A lot of people say, I can't, you got to have more, you have to have more faith in audiences, or I really think you're wrong. Numbers don't lie. When the further away from something we can relate to you get in a story, the less chance it actually is going to be watched or will prosper. And that's just the way we are as humans. That's one of the reasons why Earth is always in trouble in a federation that has hundreds of planets with other planets that, while not the capital, are arguably very, very important, is because we live on Earth and we care about Earth far more than we would ever care about Vulcan or Beta Z. Near human would be, someone asked near human. It scrolled up. Near human would work, I think. You just have to be able to relate to them. They have to have human aspects, and they have to look a little bit human, unfortunately. It's just the way we are. Schronmore says, I actually think if Picard is set outside of Starfleet and he discovers that the Federation is not, nor has ever been paradise, it was just the elites who had it good. That could be an interesting story. If you know, here's the one thing. The way we see Picard, we see him almost like a broken man. We see him possibly falling into dementia. We see him having everything he had questioned. And I think this was brought up before. And I think it's a good point. Is that Picard was always the ideal human. He always thought the best of the best. They're very, very snobbish, especially episodes, especially like season 1 and season 2. So him leaving Starfleet to find out things are more DS9 like than they are TNG like is an interesting conversation. The only thing I hope they don't do is for me, Picard is the idealized Starfleet officer. He is what Gene Roddenberry thought we should be, and is basically the gold standard for humanity. And I think they did a great job building him up and keeping him at that level. If they completely tear him down and make him more a Cisco, or make him give completely up on the ideals he believed in, it's going to destroy the show for me. And that's probably just on my side. That's probably a failing in me, because the way I see Picard, I don't think Picard would ever really do that. Well, didn't he have some type of disorder for the series finale of TNG? He did, and that's what I'm saying. Americans were just mad that Starfleet and Discovery was in Paris, so story with Earth not in center would be without audience. I don't understand what you're saying, Joseph. Americans were mad that Starfleet and Discovery was in Paris. Well, as we all know, Starfleet headquarters, as well as the Federation headquarters, is in San Francisco. And that's just fact. And anyone who attempts to say that it's not fact or it's anywhere else is just stupid. Roddenberry's Trek is more dead than him. You're going to hell, Joseph Petrick. I can say that definitively. You are going to hell. I found that B5 was a great balance between all the alien races, not just primarily focusing on Earth. Sure. What's annoying is that they only released 2 short treks on Discovery Season 2 DVD. Yeah, I'm not surprised they did that. They shouldn't have done that. I agree. They should have done all of it, but I'm not surprised that they would only do 2 of them. In DS9, one of the reasons the Admirals didn't like Cisco and the Prophets was because it reflected the human audience. People didn't think the Prophets were believable. Says Locutus. I've never heard that, honestly. Oh. I guess I could see that. Honestly, the Admiral Ross not liking the Prophets was more the atheist bent of Starfleet. I think DS9 did it best. Humans for sure, Starfleet most likely, was secular, was atheist. They didn't believe in God or gods. And there's a couple of reasons why. And you could argue how that worked out. But that's why I thought he was uncomfortable. But, I mean, maybe they did that. Haha, if it was really about Earth over another planet, we wouldn't be killing the planet and causing such serious climate change. Capitalism needs reining in. We will never reach a Star Trek society. Hold on. Sean? I think you got lost, buddy. You should try maybe looking up Destiny for, I guess, conversations like that. That'll really make Destiny mad, actually. We do care about Earth, even if we destroy it. I'd like to see the adventures of Captain Proton, Tom Paris stuck in a holodeck or something. Yeah, that could be interesting. To make aliens, do you think, Alexander Poulet Rogers, thank you so much for helping out the channel. Do you think Neelix will be in the Picard series? I think that's the only thing that can make Picard series worse than Discovery is to put Neelix in it. But joking aside, no, I don't think so. I'd be very surprised. Neelix was never really liked, and I don't see why they'd bring him back. I just don't. Oh, and he's also in the Delta Quadrant, so that would probably cause issues. I couldn't see him bringing him back, honestly. I'm curious if there's any Federation vessel in Picard. Yeah, we don't see any. I'd like to see some. Yeah, this is not going to be a conversation over climate change. Let me go ahead. I shouldn't have read that. This is not going to be a conversation over climate change, though I would argue it's not necessarily politics. However, maybe for those who are watching, I will be streaming on the daily, doing all kinds of stuff, playing Star Trek games, playing other games, talking about Star Trek, anything you want to, and I'll be streaming all the time. Mixer.com/Lore Reloaded. Go right now, while still listening to this, and become a follower over there, because I am going to start doing that on the daily. I will still do some here ever so often, but if you really want to interact, you really want to hang out with me, definitely check me out over there. Alexander Proju Roberger. Neelix is the greatest character in Trek history. That is true. That is absolutely true. In the DS9, again, thank you so much. As you guys know, the only way to survive is viewers like you, super chats, paypal.me/Reloaded Studios, or if you want to hear your name, if you want to say a sentence and hear it live, check out the Stream Elements link. I would like a show that showed a story from various viewpoints, for example, a Starfleet crew, a Romulan crew, and a Klingon crew, all of them being main character. That could be interesting. I'm not sure how you would do it, necessarily. At least you'd have something you could latch on to. Unfortunately, we do have to be able to relate in some way to characters. So, yeah, the more alien you make something, as the main character, the only thing we see, the less likely we're going to watch it. Well, I'm probably going to have to leave you all, sadly, so goodbye. And remember, petition CBS to accept my show idea. Al Weifu, if you actually have a petition, send it to james@lorereloaded.com. And I may share it. Don't know. Was it my question? My bad. Was only wondering if we would make our own Prime Directive in the future and if we should follow it. Stephen Less. I don't know what you're talking about, Stephen. If you could... expand on that. I don't think your question did anything. I don't remember it did. Will the Baku be in the Picard series? I hope. See, Robert J, I hate and love you because again, you're helping out the channel. You're doing exactly. You're definitely helping me out, but you're also trolling me. And so the Baku will probably not be in Picard unless Picard is having that Baku woman's babies. Because they don't like technology, which doesn't make any sense. They use the hell out of technology all the time. They use the hell out of technology, but somehow, for some reason, they can't or don't. Utilize technology that is from the 24th century. TBA 113. Ah, finally a chat. I'm in a position to join. Love the beard and keep up the great work. Well, I do the beard for you. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thanks for the support. Was it, if I don't see a Galaxy, Excelsior, the Enterprise, or mention of the Enterprise, I'm a raid CBS. No snitching. I'm sure when you said that, it's going to be a positive raid, and not a negative raid. I'm sure it's going to be just nothing but positive. By the way, from S.F, I'm not going to give the name, you supported via PayPal. Thank you so much. Again, guys, I just really appreciate it. PayPal, unlike Super Chats, doesn't take 30% of my money, too. So thank you so much. 30% of your money, really. Star Trek Picard, or Sharon Moore, I think that Star Trek Picard is about the same time as the Voyager finale. I think that Picard is it's set past that. I'm almost completely positive it is. Voyager gets home timeline. Because I think Nemesis happens after Voyager returns. I'm almost 100% positive. I bet real money. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. I'm pretty sure it's the year 2404, and well, Janeway doesn't accept the losses she had to endure. Yeah, it is. So it's about 10, 20 years after that. Roberger helping out again. Sonia Gomez will be in the Picard series, I hope. Who's Sonia Gomez? It's bad that I don't know who Sonia Gomez is. I can get behind that. Hell yeah. Sonia Gomez. Nothing but Star Trek Picard and Sonia Gomez is who it needs to be. Ryan K. just want to address an earlier comment about Starfleet and Federation HQ in San Francisco. The Federation president was in San Francisco. Everything you just said, including the Federation Council, has to do with all of them being in San Francisco and happy. Thanks, Ryan K. I'm glad you agree that everything having to do with the Federation, including the Council, the President, and Starfleet being in San Francisco. We need more exploratory shows that focus on characters, no big plot. I would agree. I don't know about exploratory. I don't know that they can do exploratory. But not everything has to be the end of the world. I am 100% with you right there. Not everything has to be, if we don't do this, the world ends. They need to stop doing that. Even DS9 didn't do that. You can have smaller scale and still do really well, and still have a wonderful show. Big question, is that Data or B4 in the trailer? The Countdown comic puts B4 as new captain, Data of the Enterprise E, so maybe. There's been some discussion over that, but I think it is Data definitively. I think most people agree that it's Data. I think we can give up on Picard. It's been compromised. He'll take a backseat to 7 of 9. I don't know. I think it's too early for that. I don't think we should... Oh, thank you. See, you even heard your voice. How awesome is that? That is very cool. That is a very... I got a monitor right over here that none of you guys can see. So when I'm motioning to it, it makes no sense. It's just like, hey, let's look over here into Oblivion that y'all can't see. See, how cool is that? Thank you so much, JJMFDL. JJMFDL is a huge supporter of the channel. Man, I thank you. I appreciate it. Dan23, Starfleet headquarters had remote facilities all in the United States, which was the most important piece of the Starfleet, and specifically the United Earth. Thank you so much for giving us that, Dan23. Whatever happened to Sela after TNG? Could she be in season 2? I didn't think about that, but Godspeed following me at mixer.com/Laura Reloaded, because Godspeed wants to be there when I live stream every day. Thank you so much. I haven't considered that. Would be really cool to have Sela back. Timmy the Squirrel, love your vids and streams. Well, Timmy, I love you. I really hope they bring her back, especially because it feels like, I think there's a really good possibility we're going Star Trek Online this way, folks. And so I do hope that they bring her back, and she is like head of the evil Romulan part of it, like the Romulan, I forget what's in Star Trek Online. I really think they're going to go that way, though. I hope they have her as the leader. That'd be cool. But Discovery writers have the Federation based in San Francisco, says Joseph Petrick. You called them dumb earlier, trolling better than Alexandre. Or Alexander. I don't know who that is. But yeah, I mean, everybody agrees. And it's the one time the Discovery writers are correct that the Federation is in San Francisco. Now, here's what's funny. You would have to have been with the channel for 1 to 2, maybe going on 2 years now. I'll go ahead and let everyone in for the confusion. There's an inside joke that happened a long, long time ago. We're talking 1.5 years or more, where I would always disagree that Federation headquarters was in Paris, just because it was funny, because people got so upset about it. This was before Discovery was large in anyone's mind. So if you're watching this and you're been with the channel for a while, then you get the joke. If not, you're confused as hell why I am not saying what you're actually writing. So they brought back one of the most likable characters from the next generation of Voyager. They must really want this to succeed, but I fear for its future. The problem, Wambambula, is that the one character they brought back, Seven, isn't really the Seven we know, and so it's going to be weird. Do I think Section 31 is going to make an appearance? I don't know. I'm worried that they're going to bring back Section 31, if I'm being honest. Section 31 written incorrectly could be devastating. Now, here's the thing. In Section 31, I think if they were going to bring it back, I think they could do it really well. Picard finding out about Section 31 and then wanting to fight against it. Perhaps that's some of how he loses his belief in the Federation or Starfleet. He loses his faith. Is that he realizes that Starfleet, that the Federation, everything he loved was propped up on a lie on Section 31. Alexandra Poulet-Roberger, with 7 of 9, the series will be a success for sure. Done. It's just fact. It is done. I'd love for Sisko to return as well. I don't know that they'll bring him back. I think they might be worried that Sisko could overshadow Picard, but I think it would be great. There we go. Yeah, so I was trolling y'all because when I said it was in Paris, I didn't mean Paris, France. It was Paris, Arkansas, and or Paris, Idaho. Eat it, EU. Eat it. The Federation put the capital in Paris so they could surrender to the Royal. It's true. So, little known, a lot of people forget this in the episode, but in Homefront, they actually discuss it. It's really interesting. So in Homefront, they were discussing the possibility that the Dominion might lose. And it was Sisko and the Admiral then. And at that point, that's actually when they decided to move it to Paris, because they knew that if the Dominion won, they'd have to be good at running from a fight. And they thought that to make it so that the capital is in France, that the French people would be able to teach them how to always run from a fight, given that that's all they're known for. So it was actually really good continuity with our own world, and that using a country that could never win a fight or a war, even if the other side surrendered. And little known about World War II, Germany did surrender, but France still lost the war. So it's really weird. Not weird, it makes sense. Section 31, Alexander Roberger. Why Section 31? Sometime could have Section 32. That is true. They could have Section 32. Will Lawson. I don't know if you're trolling me or not, but let's go ahead and discuss that for a second. LOL over Picard because he's black. You really think that I thought Sisko would overshadow Picard because of his race? Really? 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 Because you're absolutely right. That's exactly how he'd overshadow him. They should, because, he'd be better. They should have had Federation HQ on Paris Island. Having Marines in charge of the Federation would have terrified the Klingons and Romulans. Maybe. How much is CBS paying you to be a Pa Wraith? I don't know. Do I look red? Is that what you're implying? I can't tell. I don't look red. Picard has a new gender identification. You guys are horrible people. The Federation ran up a bill so large that Quark repossessed the use of the HQ, and now they are months in the basement. That's possible. Does CBS Viacom own the rights to Star Trek Online ship designs? It would be nice to see some of them on screen. Licensing is really interesting. Do they own the ship designs for Star Trek Online? I don't know. I know they license Star Trek Online, or Star Trek Online licenses to use their stuff, but I can tell you definitively, Star Trek Online and CBS have a good working relationship, and I think they're going to start doing a lot of Star Trek Online stuff, so we may actually be seeing some ships. Will Lawson, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I figured you were joking with me. You think Picard looks depressed because they brought the non-canon Borg invasion of 2381 that killed 63 billion people in 2 months, and the show is set after that? I think that would be a really good reason to be depressed, yes. If you want to talk about a hell of a quick way to kill the show, is for them to actually do the worst of both worlds, the novel. That would be an absolutely horrific, in my opinion, way to do the show. I don't think that should be canon. I hope we're not going to get a new Enterprise. Be interesting if we got the Enterprise J. I don't think they'll show that to us. I think that's too far ahead. But it would be really curious. Jeffrey Epstein can't afford me, buddy. Locutus killed by strong, independent women, played by Whoopi Goldberg. Yes. Yes, that is exactly how it's going to happen. Guinan is, in fact, going to kill Picard. It'll be a mercy killing. Picard will, in fact, ask that happens. So, but it's going to occur. It'll definitely be there. Mark my words. Leslie Neal could come back and play Ensign Nagel. Says Robert J. Leslie Neal. Who is Leslie Neal? Star Trek. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess. I would watch it. What kind of ship would the F or G be? Well, we know what the F... No, was it the E? No, the Enterprise F, was it? Maybe it was the E. Yeah, I'm getting old. Enterprise E was the Sovereign. I don't know. The F would be something brand new. I don't know how they do it, though. They really need to move... I know you guys want to see it. I don't know if they need to move away from the Enterprise or not. Honestly, it'd be kind of cool if the F was still in service. If we got to see the F. Get Armin Shimmerman back as Quark. That would be cool. I'd be really interested in that. We should not be lying to ourselves. Picard can be the largest dumpster fire, and we'll all watch it week after week. Well, I will. A lot of people say that, and I think there is a little bit of truth to it. But I wonder, like, look at the JJ Trek. That fell on its face and saw diminishing returns. And I think it is because they thought that they could make anything, whatever they wanted, and could just get away with it. And I don't... I just don't think that that's possible, you know? We also got a... It's about to talk? It's not. Got a tip from JJMFL. I think it already said that. Thank you so much. It's appreciative. Do you have the Neelix cookbook? I don't. I'll buy it, though. That could be something I do on stream, right? Just do the cookbook. Wall Lawson, it's also LO Zone, Low Zone. French, love your channel, but gotta lay off the misogyny. Oh, so your name's Low Zone. Sorry, man. I apologize. It gets really tiring, the fact that my country has to save yours over and over and over again. And sometimes I don't read right, because everyone knows that the only reason France feels that it can do anything is because it knows the United States has its back. So basically, as your daddy, because, you know, when you get in trouble, you call daddy. As your daddy, I will try to say your last name right. But going forward, Lozone, if you could, please just refer to me as daddy. As all French people should do to Americans. German Trekkie has a great channel. He does animations too. Y'all should check it out. Gotta go. Fantastic stream. Well, thanks for coming by. German, always a pleasure. If you keep seeing my name, it's because I always like to ask interesting questions about things Star Trek and Star Wars. Do you think that Romulan Republic will be in Picard? I think that it could. I think the Romulan Republic definitely may. Because, again, they're going Star Trek Online. I wouldn't hate the Romulan Republic, to be honest. I wouldn't hate if they did the Star Trek Online plot threads, which is what I think they're about to do. You know? So, I wouldn't mind that at all. Lex the Legend says pause and then bruh. Are you going to do the this ain't it meme? This ain't it. Speaking of Cisco, did you think the writers trying to portray as MacArthur analog was done well? Do I think that they tried to do a MacArthur analog? I'd have to think on that, honestly. Paul Carey saying one of the funniest things. Sorry, the UK has its back. The UK. Oh, man, that's why you got the hell beat out of you in World War II and you needed Americans to save your ass. Right. Anyway, I don't know if Cisco was MacArthur. I have to think on that. I think the analog may have done well. Yeah. Would it be interesting if Wesley Crusher and the Traveler... No. Wesley Crusher should never return. He did not exist. I would rather see Picard and Discovery burn than I see Wesley come on and it be an excellent show. Wesley is the worst character. I would rather see Michael Burnham. In hell, should hell exist and I get sent to hell, the hell for me would have to be watching Wesley Crusher episodes, not Michael Burnham. Do not like Wesley. Lex the Legend, do you think they should have just let Star Trek Online be the Trek sequel or made Star Trek an actual TV show? Save me, Daddy. Yosef Petri. Yosef, you're stupid. Stupid. Sorry, Lex. Do you think they should have just let Star Trek Online be... I think we're going to see Star Trek Online, the plot series. There was a lot of silly stuff in Star Trek Online that I don't think they'd include, like dinosaurs with lasers on their heads that help Starfleet officers. But the plot thread with Romulan Republic, I think a lot of it should be kept because they did have some really intriguing stories. Alexander is from Quebec, and they did beat the United States of America in 1775. They did, yeah. Canada, joking aside, I'm obviously joking when I talk about all this. It's funny. People take it so seriously. Like I actually think about half the stuff I say when it comes to just joking with other countries. But not joking. When you look into the history between Canada and the United States, while Canada most of the time was still considered to be a part of the United Kingdom or a British protectorate, Canada did beat the hell out of the United States quite a few times in the history. It's kind of interesting to look into. In World War II, we fought longer and harder, but real question, why not the 21st century? Skip over Picard and create a new show with a new crew. It'd be interesting. Team America should be the Star Trek Picard theme. It should. What was I saying? Yeah, they're going to try to do that with Discovery. Discovery is they call it a soft reset. It really is a hard reset. I don't know. Basically, they're going to try to Andromeda a lot of it. I think a good show would be to either in the Picard era or maybe a little set past that, trying to I think a good series would be immediately after the Dominion War to try to reconcile Starfleet becoming a military and becoming this just mega monolith and trying to go back to just being scientists. I think that would be interesting. Talking to Godspeed, what can I say about the Irish? I really can't say a lot about the Irish. I think I'm just going to be neutral like the Irish decided to be when we were fighting literal Nazis. Because when you're fighting literal Nazis, you want to be known for being neutral. So I think I'll just be neutral about the Irish, who said, you know what, I'm not going to pick a side when choosing the good guys that want to save human beings and not hurt them, and the Nazis. I don't know who I want to side with on that. I think that's what I'll do when it comes to the Irish. I actually enjoy history. I read a lot of history things. Are they going to make every Starfleet ship grungy? What do you mean by grungy? Do you consider what you see in Picard, that ship, grungy? Because, I mean, Discovery, the USS Discovery, the USS Enterprise in Discovery, and the ships we see in Picard are immaculate. They're really, really clean. So, I don't know. Sorry, Dad. See, it's okay, Godspeed. I forgive you. Actually, again, history is really interesting because, joking aside, Ireland did stay neutral. To be fair, they didn't know what the Nazis were doing at that point, and even if they did, there's not a lot you could do. Ireland was a lot like Bajor in that, and Ireland helped out the Allies. They allowed the British to do a lot. Check out Worst Jobs in History. All eps are on YouTube. I have fun. You know what you guys should watch? It's a really good series. What is it? I think it's Mega Weapons of World War II. Yeah, watch Mega Weapons of World War II. It's a Netflix series. It's really good. Talking about the Irish, is there any news on O'Brien being a Picard? I haven't heard anything. I would love to see that, though. I think that'd be interesting. Barry Benz, you mean the exterior? I don't think the exterior is grungy either. All right, so what do you guys think? Be honest here. When it comes to the outside of the ships in Star Trek Discovery, as well as what we've seen in Picard, do you think they're grungy? I don't know. It depends. Can you define grungy for me? Hold up, the last battle on Discovery, did most of the shuttles come from the Discovery? No. They actually all came from the Enterprise, which is just stupid. You see them all coming out of the Enterprise. It was ridiculous. That's why I make fun of it in my breakdown of... when I broke down the Constitution class, I made fun of it. Picard and Wesley are now confirmed for Discovery Season 3. Shut up. That's not true. Picard, Wesley, Discovery Season 3. Dude, I'd be so irritated. Will Wheaton excited about the new star? I don't care about Will Wheaton. I do not like him. Be fair, he probably doesn't like me either. Huh. You got me, JJMFDL. You got me, sir. Janeway or Sisko or someone from the Federation should be protagonist. Are you talking about like the antagonist? It would be interesting. Ireland refused Britain, and that's why they had to invade Iceland. Okay, so not joking, Will Luzon. It was my understanding that Ireland actually did allow Britain to do a lot of things. Did they refuse to help out the British? In all seriousness, I don't know. I mean, we're not going to get deep into that, but it was my understanding that Ireland low-key allowed Britain to do whatever it wanted to. It'd be interesting looking at what you were saying before, because he antagonist. It would be interesting. I don't know, Janeway or Sisko as the antagonist of Picard. I did actually quickly check Google. Sorry, I need to stop having multiple conversations. Sisko and Janeway, either or. I think that it would hurt the characters, so I wouldn't like to see that. And Janeway has always been a good anti-hero anyway. She just destroys from within. So, Standing Wave, we already talked about that. Yeah. Wow, I honestly did not know that about Ireland. That's interesting. So some of them actually were pro-German too. That I didn't know. I knew they helped out Britain, but again, Ireland was in a pretty bad position because they were right next to Germany, and they was just a small little nation, did not want to get in the middle of that. So I joke when I say that. The bridge of the freighter on Picard reminds me of a cross between Firefly and the Space Rangers, 1993 short-lived CBS series. Space Rangers, not Rangers in Space, not the Power Rangers. Are you talking about the Power Rangers one? Because that was a pretty good one. I figured Iceland was important in World... Oh, stop talking about World War II. There's one ship in Discovery which has warp nacelles going through the saucer section. What is there? Well, I mean, in the 24th century, we see... what the hell is it? It's a... it has the warp nacelles going through the saucer section, too. It... in Star Trek, in the game, Armada, it throws... Tri-Cobalt. It's a long-range artillery unit. What the hell is it? It's, I want to say space something, but it's not. Steamrunner. Steamrunner class has it going through the saucer section. So I don't think that's necessarily a huge deal. Speaking of Cisco, lots of people say Avery Brooks has lost his mind. Is this true? Avery Brooks has always been... Steamrunner was what I was talking about. Yeah, Avery Brooks has always been out there. Avery Brooks has always been... Like, even when he... even when the... when he was being Cisco, he was always... flamboyant, I guess. Very, I want to say hippie-ish, and I don't mean it in a bad way. So it's kind of like with Janeway. So he's always been like that. People are just now taking note of it. It's just like Janeway, not Janeway. It was just like Kate Mulgrew. Kate Mulgrew has always been very, very feminist, very here's misogyny, there's misogyny. On the set, it was misogynistic. She has always been like that. All of a sudden, she says it in an interview, and everybody is like, oh my God, I can't believe Kate Mulgrew said it. That's just consistent. 70 people watching, 55 likes. Hit that like button. You are correct. They were between a rock and a hard place. Talking about Ireland didn't want to be allied. Yeah, honestly, I think it was more based on everything I've looked at and stuff. I think it was more Ireland just did not want Germany to just like rock their world. I do think they were pro-allies. I'm just going to say this. Ireland had stopped a devastating civil war in 1923, and we went through a major population drain. Godspeed, do you really think we're putting down after everything we said? Buddy, we're talking... We're not mad at Ireland. Ireland is a great place. Hey, Lord, do you know the Ascension class? I know. Let's look it up. By the way, guys, as I've been consistently saying, it looks like a Voyager-type vessel. Like the Prometheus meets Voyager. Is that... Star Trek Online? Is that where that's from? Anyway, by the way, guys, please, 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 right now, if you like this, you like me doing this, you want to see me do live stuff, please go to mixer.com/Lore Reloaded and follow me there. I will be doing live stuff on there, and I'll be doing it daily. So, go check it out. It would mean a lot if I could get quite a few followers there, because I really I want to expand and I want to do that. I'll be doing Star Trek stuff. I'll be doing Star Trek games, but I'll also be talking about stuff, whatever you guys want to talk about, anything from religion to politics to just Star Trek to Star Wars, just whatever. I need to... Relying on YouTube only is a really bad idea, and I don't want to do that. Godspeed. Oh, no, man, I know you're not putting Ireland down. Back to it was just a shoal place to live. Back then, it was just a shoal place. I don't know what shoal means, but okay. World War II, I'm not going to get off topic. I know we want to sit here and talk about everything Star Trek. World War II is really interesting, looking at all of the countries and everything they did, what for. I make a lot of jokes. I'm a United States patriot. I love my country like anyone else. I mean, it has made a lot of errors and has done a lot of good and bad. I think it's net positive in the end for the world, but there's a lot of bad that's done as well. But what's funny is in World War II, when the United States first started, Because I talk about how the United States just saved everything. The truth is, when the United States first started, the only thing the United States did well was getting its soldiers killed and losing battles. It's funny how people don't talk about that. But yeah, the first stages when the U.S. enters the war, it just got the living hell beat out of us. And yet, they thought we were doing good. To address that, agreed, broadcast on multiple platforms. When I'm broadcasting on Mixer, I won't be broadcasting here. The content will be somewhat different, but we can still talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. I'm not going to multi. I don't enjoy doing that. Okay, everybody, Demo Gorgonzola is back, so we can now get back to having the conversation. We can now, we can now conversate. Trust in only YouTube is like trusting in the Oberth class against the Borg. I would agree wholeheartedly with that. Have I been to Ireland? No, I have not been to Ireland. Can I play Elite Force? Yep, over there. We'll get Elite Force and we'll play it. Not only am I going to play it, but you guys can join and stuff. We'll have a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I want it to be successful because I think that it's a good expansion. I really do. What the hell? What are you doing? Mickey, what's up, buddy? Don't look at me like I'm stupid. I don't even know if you guys can see him. He's just staring at me. Yeah. Standing wave, adios, off to class. Talk to you later, buddy. Do you think the Federation comes to end? Star Trek was always a mirror to our society. I can imagine that Picard show will start changing the well-known Federation. I think it may change. I don't know that they'll destroy it. If they follow Discovery, I think they may be into that, but I don't think so. I noticed that your cat is in the background. Yeah, you probably just noticed me talk to him too. I believe that it'll turn out that Michael Burnham is Jean-Luc's great-great-great-grandmother. Yes. Yes, that will be true. The Prometheus was overrated. The Federation should have gotten the same benefits from training their people to operate routinely in task forces instead of operating alone. Maybe. I like the Prometheus. I know a lot of people are against it. I know a lot of people are not fans of the Prometheus. I personally like it. I like the class. I like what it was to do. I think it's sad they didn't do more with it, honestly. But that's just me. You have cats. I have cats. We must be friends. I have 2 cats, Joseph. What's the Mixer link? Well, I'm glad you asked. That is a wondrous question. There is the link. The video game Voyager Elite Force has alien slugs in it. It's disgusting. Laura, what do you think of non-canon ships? Depends on the non-canon ship. I actually don't mind non-canon things. Beta canon is very interesting to me. I just generally don't include it because I think there needs to be a standard for when you're doing lore. But do you have a specific ship? My all-time favorite ship is the Akira class, to be honest. The cat is thinking, who is that pack lead talking to? I hate you, Nassim. I hate you. You lost an internet today. You lost one internet. They should have done more with the fighters and space combat and Makos and away missions. I agree. I think we should have had Marines or Makos. It would have been cool. Well, but it happened after. You know, it would have been interesting if we could have had the Makos introduced in DS9 and not Enterprise. Which series finale of Star Trek was your favorite? I'm not a huge fan of any of the series finales. Which was my favorite? Probably TNG. I just liked its ending. Good old gamers said they should have done more. Oh, yeah, we already talked about that. The cool thing about Discovery is that they're now stuck in a potential future, and they've erased from historical record. So if they cancel the show, it'd be like it never existed. I mean, it's true. Talk to you later, Kurt. Thanks for coming by. I have a lot of web links to it. I got Twitch. I got YouTube, Twitter, and Mixer. Unless you're talking about like my Patreon and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. Welcome to being an online personality. I'll be getting off in about 9 minutes, guys. This has gone an hour 30. I want to do anywhere from 2 to 4 hours a day. And I'm trying to get it so that my videos are already edited and ready to go up before. Because that's what's stopping me from live streaming is videos. editing the videos, because I put those over this. And what else is I want to expand more when it comes to live streams. If you guys, the majority of it can be Star Trek, and that's what I want to do. But I do want to expand beyond that, because I just trying to find something to talk about every day that's Star Trek. I'm not going to be able to do it for you guys. The Aquila class, Star Trek Aquila class. Let me take a look at it. Images. I mean, I'll take a look at it. I've never been a huge fan of that design. Does it have 2 nacelles? Because this makes it look like it has 2 nacelles. Oh, you're talking about the destroyer, which does not, like 2 nacelles, one over the other. But the destroyer looks different. It looks like there's a frigate too. I'll have to take a look at it. Ships of this class were 290 meters long, 175 meters wide, and 140 meters tall, meaning that it's actually one of the smaller vessels. Their overall layout was similar to the later Norway-class starships, minus the phaser hanging below the main hull. Additionally, they were armed with 6 dual emitter phaser banks, 1 phaser lance, 2 photon torpedo launchers. Defenses included standard deflector shields. The Aquila class was a Federation starship in Starfleet in the 23rd century. Classified as a destroyer escort. It's from the game Legacy. Huh. I'll have to look more at it. I don't hate it. It's interesting. I'd have to better understand the design. Why would they cut out the top? I guess to put phasers in there, but I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I'll try to look more into it. Would like to see Space 1999 return. I'd love to do that. A lot of people have brought it up. I got so much right now that I have to do first, but I do actually intend to have it. Do D&D, it's having a moment. Yeah, I've noticed a lot of Dungeons and Dragons stuff, but I'm on the fence on if I should do that. Laura, what about the Proxima class? The Proxima class? Let's take a look at that, and then that'll be the last thing we do. Star Trek Proxima class. I don't like 4 nacelles. I've never been a huge fan of 4 nacelles. Also, them next to each other like that looks kind of weird. The Proxima class was a type of Federation starship first built by Starfleet in the mid-23rd century. I guess that's kind of why it looks like a Excelsior meets Constitution. It was considered to be a battleship and was extremely heavily armed. At some point in time, it underwent a refit, updated nacelles, weapons pod configuration, while the refit configuration continued being produced in the 24th century. I guess I'm going to have to play Star Trek Legacy, is what you guys are telling me. The nacelles are too close together. That would mess with the warp fields like crazy. I don't know. I don't know what the love is of just having 6,000 nacelles bulked together. Thank you for the stream, Daddy. I think I'm going to start. I think I'm going to learn to hate the joke. Wait, where's the Discord? What Discord link? There is a public Discord available. Let me get you that link, good sir. For the public non-Patreon link, it is... Where are you guys? Where'd you go? All alone. With no one there beside me. What do I think of coaxial warp drive? Didn't what's his name do something on that? What is his name? I think it's right here. Yeah, yeah, certifiably in game. I actually did a collaboration with them. Didn't they do something on that? Let me see. Coaxial warp drive is a propulsion system which folds space in on itself in a much larger scale than a standard warp drive, allowing instantaneous travel. Starfleet shuttlecraft attempting to use a coaxial warp drive. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't use that. I agree. I have to take more look into it. Of speeches, I love when Sheridan on B5 talks down to the Vorlons and the Shadows during the Shadow War. I like when Sheridan takes on, what is it, Toth, the one Vorlon? When he's like, I need your help or whatever, and then he pisses him off to the point that it looks like he might be killed by him. He's like, go ahead and do it. It's not like it's gonna matter if you don't help us. What about 3 nacelles? 3 nacelles just doesn't make any sense unless you have the backup one. Again, you need 2 nacelles for it to work. Yes, I know there are ships that have 1 nacelle. It's not supposed to work. I don't know. I just like the 2 nacelle layout. I don't like more than 2. I don't know what about it that annoys me. I just don't. All right, guys, again, if you're watching this, this is the last time I'm going to say it. If you're watching this, please go to mixer.com/LoreReloaded. I am going to start doing stuff there all of the time. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'll be playing games. You guys will get to come on and have conversations with me. There'll be debates. I'll be inviting people. It'll just be a jolly old time. I will still have some streams here, but not as many as I will there. And there's going to be a podcast happening on this channel with Ketwalski on the 11th. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next Lore Reloaded. That said, can we put down non-canon ships for you to look and review for a video in your Discord, says Lex. Yes, you can. When is the next live stream? Should be tomorrow at 11 will be the next live stream. Probably will be here again, but eventually it's going to go over to Mixer. See you guys on the next one. I guess now I got to wait. Hold on. Hold on, wait. Hold on. Stay. I'm waiting for it to catch up. Give it a second. There it is.